So young companies need a lot of help. The statistics, I believe, for what are sometimes called startups is that 90 or 95% of them fail. We have exactly the opposite metric here. 95% of our companies succeed, and they succeed because we give them an enormous amount of help. For the desk rent that they pay here, we give them not only a desk, like a WeWork space, but we also give them a lawyer once a month, an accountant once a month, a graphic designer on staff, access to an enormous Rolodex of relationships in this city and elsewhere. So we can help them find channel to market partners, we can help them find customers, we can help them find investors, we help them with their pitch, we help them understand what their market is and how to make their market bigger, we help them understand how to make their product suit the customer a little bit better. Very often, a young company will think, this is the product I should offer. We force them to talk to their customers and understand what their customer really wants them to offer, and sometimes they'll pivot. For instance, we have a great company with a great success story called United Wind. They're no longer in the incubator, they've graduated. But when Russell Tenser, this terrific young CEO, started here, he was doing wind data analytics. That means that you go out and you measure how much wind is on a site. There are a lot of companies doing that. He saw that his customers didn't really need that. But when he talked to farmers about what they needed wind with no first cost. They needed him to do something like the solar lease for solar, but apply it to wind. So he changed his company. He pivoted his company based on what the customer needed and created a wind leasing company called United Wind. So he will borrow the money and do the project finance necessary to build small wind on a farmer's property. He'll lease it to them for less than what they used to pay in energy. So over a 20-year period, the amount of money, a little bit less than the amount of money that they used to pay monthly for electricity, they're now paying to Russell to generate power for them and to have the use of this wind turbine, and they're paying less than they would have paid for energy. Yet they couldn't afford the upfront $4 million cost to put in the wind energy. So he's leasing wind energy to them. That's a new business model. And he pivoted his company based on what the customer needed. That's the kind of thing we can help startups to find.